Well, when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, I didn't know what it was or what it meant. I was 22 years old, and as a young 22, I thought I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Nothing could go wrong. So I figured I needed to learn about it. And then my second question to the doctor was if I'd ever race again. He looked me square in the eyes and he said, I don't see any reason why not. There are incredible people doing amazing things with diabetes all over the world. You may have to make some changes, but it shouldn't get in the way of your dream. So, funnily enough, my relationship with Novo Nordisk and the partnership started through my endocrinologist, through my doctor. I was the first ever racing driver she'd ever treated. So she sent an email to somebody she knew at the company and said, I had this young man in my office, he has type 1 diabetes, he uses your insulin, he's a racing driver, do you want to hear his story? Novo Nordisk is a global healthcare company that's specialized in diabetes for over 90 years. With such a big company, it is challenging to get in front of the right people and tell them your story. And that's why it took 6 months to get the first meeting, and then 6 months after that to get any relationship. And that relationship started at the ground floor, very small. But the more people heard about the program internally, the more people I got the chance to talk with in different roles, from marketing to sales to communication to PR, I was able to tell them my story and how Novo Nordisk could be a part of it. And that's how it took 3 years from that first email to the first logo on an IndyCar. Didn't happen overnight. It takes time to develop these relationships. The conversation about my race program is how the Novo Nordisk insulins help support my dream to drive race cars and be a successful and a competitive IndyCar driver. Because it's not that I wanted to be an IndyCar driver and have diabetes and finish last. I want to be out there competing for top 10s and top 5s, podiums, race wins. I want to be the first driver with diabetes to win the Indy 500. And Novo Nordisk understands that, and they want to make sure that I have the tools and the right opportunities to be able to do that. My IndyCar is different than everyone else's because my body's different. Because of my type 1 diabetes, I have to keep track of my blood sugar during every practice session, qualifying, and especially during the race. I wear a continuous glucose monitor, so I have a sensor on my body and it transmits to a display. That unit actually plugs into the car's data system. So on my steering wheel, I have speed, lap time, oil pressure, blood sugar, water temperature, gear, the car, and my body data right there together. Most IndyCar drivers have a drink bottle in the car so they can stay hydrated. I actually have 2 bottles, one of water and a second one with orange juice with extra sugar in it. Those bottles come together at a valve that's mounted right on my seat belt. And from that valve, a tube runs right into my helmet. So depending on what my body needs, I can get water for hydration, or I can switch that valve, get some orange juice, and bring my blood sugar up. For me, the biggest value in a partnership is being able to provide value to both people. I always talk to Novo Nordisk about supporting my dream and my dream of racing in the Indianapolis 500. The dream of making history as the first licensed driver with diabetes to race in the Indy 500. And they saw and bought into that dream as well. As a company, their culture is very much about supporting the patient. And being able to provide them that opportunity was invaluable. And I absolutely believe that there is a unique connection with Novo Nordisk and I, and that model is applicable to other drivers. If it's interests or a health interest, a family interest, a location. I mean, growing up racing in Europe, I was always the American. And so I talked to American companies about partnering with me in Europe. Now, some companies said, we only do sales in the US. Okay, it's not gonna work. But companies that were saying, oh, we're trying to break into the European market and we'd like to have an American to work with. That was a way to do it. And sometimes it's not asking them for money, but it's asking what you can do for them and how you can help them reach their goals. And the flip side is they'll help you reach your goals.